Did you know that only 10% of the Earth's surface has internet coverage? Beyond cities and highly populated areas, our planet is a desert in terms of connectivity. However, in a context in which space has become the new internet, Sateliot will launch the first nanosatellite constellation, thereby extending the Internet of Things with 5G coverage on a global and massive scale. These nanosatellites, barely the size of a microwave oven and orbiting at an altitude of 500 kilometers, will function as telecommunications towers from space where terrestrial networks don't, and capable of monitoring the maritime, logistics, environmental and agriculture sectors, as well as all kinds of infrastructure. In this way, Sateliot will democratize space and make it accessible to everyone. In this space race, Sateliot has surrounded itself with the best, securing the backing of great supporters and even receiving recognition by the telecommunications industry for its great work in defining the international standards that will regulate the sector. And so, after months of research, investment in technological innovation and a lot of teamwork, we are approaching our goal.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition.
Liftoff.
Good afternoon. Thanks a lot for being here in this exclusive meeting where I'm going to present you our mission. We have been working, as you know, because I have talked with all of you for the last 2 years, we have been working more than 40 people in order to be prepared for this first mission. The first mission that starts on Saturday will mean a disruptive point in the history of the telecommunications. We really believe that all our effort that we have pushed forward the telecommunications in order to be available the same standard for space, it's a step forward that will change the world of the telecommunications, both satellite and telecom. Let me show you in a presentation, okay, why we do believe, okay, that this mission is a special one and will be the start of a huge project. I love the sentence of Jeff Bezos saying that space is the new internet. And I love it because all of us, the ones that we are inside the sector, we really believe that we are living in a very special moment. The space that have been evolving and evolving fast for the last years has entered on a new era of acceleration, and everything is changing very, very fast. And I really believe, okay, that the industry as we have known till today, it will change it in the next few years. And in IoT, it's happening exactly the same. Okay, in the last year was the first year that IoT devices were bigger, okay, than mobile devices. And by 2025, we arrived to 27 billion of IoT devices connected. This will mean a global business of 17 billion euros in all the world just for that connectivity part without devices. And we all know that all this connectivity is concentrated in cities. 90% of the world has no mobile coverage. And this means that there is a huge space for growth. And at the same time, as I was explaining, okay, a space, it's going through a genuine revolution. Everything is changing very fast. The satellites are smaller, cheaper, and we will be much faster. And the launch cost is going down steadily on these last years. And at the same time, we all know, okay, that innovation and digitalization is not something nice to have, but it's a must if we want to maintain our countries as they are, okay? And we have faced up these challenges with a new constellation. This new constellation will be a constellation that will be exclusively for IoT, and the uniqueness of this constellation is that it will work exactly with the same standard that today more than 70 operators, mobile operators, MNOs in the world are using. Okay, that this is a huge difference because since today, okay, the satellite industry got their own standards or their own protocols, and the mobile industry work completely under the standard. Then what we do today is using the standard of the mobile industry and applying it to the satellite industry with our LEO constellation. And we are going to do this through a unique business model. This business model is based not on going to search final customers one by one, but using the mobile operators in order to that they bring to the customers a full coverage service through our extended coverage service that we are going to deliver them in a wholesale model. And why could we do that? Because we have a unique technology. That it's based on three items that are that we are developing. First one is the radio of the satellite. It's a radio that we are developing in order to be a multi-beam radio. This means that it will be a radio that will have more coverage and more sensitivity. The second one is the protocol. Today, okay, we are working with Gatehouse in order to develop the waveform, the implementation of the protocol in order that it could work from a satellite. And the third one is the core. In order to do as easy as possible the services to the mobile operators, what we are doing, we are connecting our constellation to a 5G core. This core will be delivering roaming services to the mobile operator. This will mean that they will not have to do anything at any investment in order to have this coverage extended service for their customers. All these three innovations are the ones that we have been developing and will be applied little by little to those three satellites that we are launching, that are the test satellites. And what's the objective of the company? We are going to have our first commercial constellation by the end of 2022. This will be a 16 satellites constellation that will start to deliver service to final customers. And by 2025, our objective is to be on near real time with a company that will have a turnover of more than 200 million euros. Which the investment that we have been doing for the last 2 years, and we continue doing for the next year will be the biggest one in Europe. We've invested more than 100 million euros up to by 2025, but we are not alone in that. Okay, we have had all the back of the European Space Agency. We have been working with companies like Thales Alenia Space, E2K, Telespazio, Gatehouse, Aveno, Open Cosmos. But the importance is the standard. In order to do the standard, we are the only LEO IoT constellation that are full member of the 3GPP. In this moment, the 3GPP is the organization that for the last tens of years have been defining the standards, the 2G, the 3G, the 4G, and now the 5G. And as you know, okay, the 5G, the ambition of the 5G is what has changed. Till the 4G was a standard that was defined in order to deliver coverage to the mobile operators. 5G is a standard, it's much more than a standard. It's a group of a standard with ambition of covering all the telecommunications world. And inside this telecommunications world, the first one is what is called the narrowband IoT, NB-IoT, which is the protocol that is used for the IoT sector. And we are jointly with all the sector, okay, but in the 3GPP, developing what will be the next release that will include the NTN, the non-terrestrial networks. This is the one, okay, that will be implemented in the future in our satellite. And how this is funded? It's funded mainly with private capital and with public capital. This is the phase, the seed phase that we did 1 year ago. Now we have closed the Series A of 5 million euros. After we'll be done a Series B and a Series C in order to launch our full constellation. And our satellite and the rocket, of course, and the launcher are ready for takeoff. This Saturday, the 20th, at 7 hours 7 minutes Spanish time, will be launching from Baikonur in Kazakhstan the first satellite. This satellite is called 3B5G sat, which means 3 before 5G sat. We'll be launching 3 satellites that will be test satellites that in order to test all these developments that we have been doing during these last 2 years. In this first satellite, it will be the first one that will be already testing from space to Earth a 5G protocol that will be closed down next year with the standard. And who is doing this mission? We are the operator, we are the company that will exploit the service. Open Cosmos is the responsible for the mission to start to finish. Space is the one that under our designs have built up the radio, and GQ Launch is the launch services in order to put our satellite in the space. As you know, okay, the satellites today and the rockets today are built on more than one satellite launch. This satellite have the main satellite. This rocket has a main satellite. This launch has a main satellite, which is a South Korean one, and will be up to 30 more satellites that will be launching all one after the other from the satellite. That our satellite goes at an altitude of 550 kilometers. That will be one of the drop-off points of the launcher. Once the satellite is launched, we have to wait till we go through the ball node, where there we have the Svalbard satellite station, where there are the ground stations that will receive first the telematics of the satellite, and once all these are checking out, we'll turn on the radio, to start doing services and connectivity from Earth. This is our first milestone. One of the sentences that we love, okay, I would like to say that with Sateliot, we really believe that a connected world could be a much better world. Then the sentence that Neil Armstrong says when it wants to moon, okay, that's one more step for a man, one giant leap for the mankind. We really believe, okay, that we are bringing to the world much more than just a very profitable company that we expect it to be in a few years, but also a change in the way we all connect. Let's see, okay, how this will work on the launching.
Thanks, Jaume. Hi all, good morning everyone, and thanks for joining us. Well, I need a moment to compose myself after this spectacular image. I'm speechless. Well, now we all have the opportunity to go deeper into what we have just seen and ask your questions to the person who with tenacity and hard teamwork has led the Sateliot project. So, Jaume, without further delay, let's turn to the questions that my colleagues from the press has posted in the chat. Okay. And in the email. Okay, the first question came by email, and it says that what applications has Sateliot project in the real life of citizens, companies, and governments?
The applications are we have to think on all the applications that today are happening inside the cities that you have the capability of happening outside the cities in rural areas. Then we are talking about the automatization of the agriculture, what is called agrotech. We are already in touch with companies in Brazil, for example, where there are huge companies in places where there is no coverage. And it has been demonstrated, for example, in water, we could save 50% of the water that is spent on agriculture with the use of agrotech. Another is logistics. All the logistics company wants to control the assets, and the assets are all around the world, not just in places where there is connectivity, but inside in places where there is no connectivity, including all the oceans. Then there is all the infrastructure industry, the oil and gas and utilities, and in general the infrastructure of public administration have all around. All this infrastructure today is controlled visiting in a physical way, okay, all these places in order to check that everything is all right. With our connectivity, with our very cheap connectivity and massive deployment, all these infrastructures could be controlled from home in order to have it a much cheaper and much secure control of all this.
Okay. Doug Money asks if Sateliot has raised 5 million euro in A round. Is in process of raising 25 million euro for B round? Yes, with the C round of 70 million euro.
What we have our timeline, it takes us to do in the Series B by the end of the year. Then we have right now the money in order to close all the technological developments. And by the end of the year, we're going to launch our next round in order to finance the first 16 satellites.
Okay, another question is, why do we say that we are the first nanosatellite constellation of 5G IoT?
Why? Because in this moment, okay, on the sat. Well, of course, we cannot say that we have the first constellation because we do not have a constellation, okay? What we are saying is that we are going to launch the first satellite that will be testing from space a 5G protocol, okay? This 5G protocol is the NB-IoT protocol, which is not still closed, okay? That will be closed. It's now entering on the normative item, okay? That will be closed in next year, but we are already testing this from space to Earth.
Okay, and what makes the Sateliot project so new?
No? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
See, that what makes the Sateliot project so new?
I really believe, okay, that the Sateliot project it's so unique, not just for the technology, but also because of the business model. There are companies. Most of the companies dedicated to IoT constellation, okay, they are using, or they will be using, some of them they are using, some of them they will be using non-standard protocols. All this includes all the protocols that are 100% proprietary, and includes other protocols that are not a standard, not 3GPP a standard, but are heavily used by LoRa. Okay, we believe, okay, that the project like the ones that are using LoRa, they have an application, but the one, because they have all the economies of scale of a huge industry, but the one using proprietary protocols are very difficult to succeed because they will not going to have an economy of scale of all the operators of the world. We have to think, okay, that the chipset, the NB-IoT chipset costs $3, and it costs $3 because it's not our chipset, it's the chipset of all the telecommunications industry.
Okay, thank you very much. We don't have more questions. Thank you very much also to all of you for connecting and for joining us. Jaume, well, I give the floor to close the meeting.
Thank you very much, Carolina. Thanks to all of you for connecting in this exclusive meeting. I hope that I have answer all the doubts that you have. I hope to see you there on Saturday following our launch, and this will be just the first of a lot of new launches that will be coming during the next years. I hope to have the pleasure of have you all there following us. And good luck for the Saturday.